Welcome back, guys. My name is Juliuz. So I was scrolling through YouTube and this video was recommended to me, my biggest loss in more than 4 years from Ross Cameron Warrior trading. And I was like so interested to find out how much he lost. I saw the thumbnail and it was like $100,000 and I could not believe it. I know this video is already 6 months old, but I saw it on my YouTube starting homepage. So I really wanted to find out what's going on. So let's get right into it.
Well, this is certainly unexpected. I was not planning on having a huge red day today. This will be a red day recap.
Okay, I'm really excited. What's going on here?
I'm down over $172,000 on.
What? $172,000 red loss day in one day trading session. I cannot believe it. That's crazy. This video is already 6 months old and I did not hear of it. It's like the first time I'm watching it. I cannot believe it.
The day. Yikes. Okay, first things first, let's pause the music.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling so hot today. Look, I'm bummed out. This is pretty disappointing.
Pretty disappointing. This is a life-changing amount. Wow, guys, this day trading stuff. I'm just so glad that we have those creators who post their wins and their losses live. I mean, to see this life-changing amount of money, even if it's lost, okay, this also means you could, in theory, win this on one day. It's unbelievable to think of this amount of money.
I'm reminded of the Talking Heads song, Once in a Lifetime, that you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? And I am certainly asking myself that today. How did I get here? It feels unforgivable to lose that much money in one.
Actually, I have to be honest with you. I wouldn't be able to make such a video after losing $170,000. I would be devastated. I would probably have the darkest thoughts in my head. I cannot cope with it. Okay, we have to agree, Ross Cameron is on another level, okay? He's making life-changing amounts of money every day. So losing this is like, for me, I don't know, losing $10,000 maybe. I don't know how it feels. I cannot imagine, but I wouldn't be able to make a video.
Morning, $172,000. The amount that money could buy. Last week.
You could buy at least a decent apartment. And a few years back, you could have bought a decent house.
Wrote a check for $120,000 to 4 charities, Boston Children's Hospital, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and 2 other nonprofits. And I would have so much preferred to have written another check for $172,000.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Even if you lost that money, you could have given it away to a better cause. Okay, it's just, in every aspect, it's completely devastating. Okay, this video is 44 minutes long, so I'm gonna skip through it a little and we're gonna take a look on what really happened.
And that allowed me to break one very critical rule in today's trading session. I'll share that with you. Before I do, let's take a look back at February 2021. And you'll see here, February 4th, it was a Thursday.
What? Okay, he actually lost more in 2021. Look at this. It's not even... How can this be real? He had, in February 2021, okay, this is not what this video is about, but he had a $270,000 losing day. And he still made over $300,000 in that month. I mean, I have no words. I have no words to see what is possible with trading. Okay, he's not trading futures. I know he's trading stocks, but what is possible in this business should like expand one's mind to what is really happening and what is possible in this world.
$274,000 in the red.
Okay, maybe I'm gonna speed it up a little bit.
This was the beginning of the month, very much like today is the beginning of the month. And by the end of the month, I had not only recovered all of the loss, in fact, within 2 weeks, I actually finished the month in the green by $300,000. I would like to try to repeat that recovery here this month, but not necessarily to the penny, but to repeat the...
I don't know if he did. Okay, this video is 6 months old, so in theory, we could have checked if he ended the month in the green.
Ability to recover the loss quickly. So what you're going to have the opportunity to watch today is not just the recap of the trades I took. I'll go over them, but it won't take long because I didn't take very many trades. What I really want to give you some insight into is how I mentally and emotionally cope and process.
Yeah, and that's the most interesting part, okay? I cannot slight I cannot even slightly imagine myself in this position.
What just happened? Because I think these are the very, very moments that define what success can look at like as a trader. It is not how many times you get knocked off the horse, it's how many times you get back on. There are other traders in.
Could it be more true? Could something be more true for day trading? Okay, you get knocked out so many times over and over and over again, and probably you felt that too if you are day trading on a regular basis. It's just you get knocked out, and you have to get yourself up every time.
The same exact moment, who would give up? They'd say, "That's it, I'm done. I can't possibly. I can't even fathom how to begin recovering such a big loss. I give up," and they leave. It'll be a big red day that knocks them out. And for me, big red days historically have been turning points for me. They've been an opportunity to go back to the drawing board, to look closely at the mistakes I've been making and have an honest reflection and come back with a new and improved variation of my strategy. There may be an opportunity for that today. I don't know yet, because what we're going to do in real time right now is I'm going to walk you through how I emotionally process this loss. Okay. So let's begin.
So let's get started here.
First with... let's begin with the live trading archive from this morning. So if I pull up the live trading archive, let's see, you're going to see my trade here. And of course, I had a series of trades. So I sat down this morning. This is where I sat down first thing this morning. It's about 7.
Okay, are we going to even see the trades here recorded live? That would be exceptionally nice to have.
7 a.m., 6:53. And when I had first pulled up the scans on my phone, these scans right here, I had noticed GLTO was the leading gapper, and that was when it was under 14. It was right here, and I thought, okay, this looks interesting. I did not see news on it, and in fact, the stock has no news. Interesting. It is a biotech stock, and yesterday, context, we had a biotech stock that made a phenomenal move. It was SPRB. Unbelievably, this stock went from about $16 a share to $360. Holy moly, this is crazy. And it was a biotech stock. Now, it had news, which was a big differentiator. GLTO did not have news. But when I sat down this morning, this was the first stock that I traded. Oops, let me pull this back up. And the morning started poorly from the very beginning. So I'm going to, let's see. So this is right around 7 a.m.
That's also one aspect of trading. I don't know if he mentions that, or I don't know if this played a role for him, but if on the previous day something worked exceptionally good, you have that in the back of your mind. Okay, maybe today I can profit on the same thing that worked yesterday. Okay, yesterday I was not in the move from stock that went to $300 like from barely nothing. Maybe today this will happen again. Maybe you can be on the right side this time. And in the end, you're going to lose everything. Okay, so this is in the back of your head. Maybe he's going to mention that, but in trading, yeah, it's really, really hard to forget what happened yesterday, what might happen tomorrow, to really just be in the present. I know.
So we have, actually, I've got to back this up. I'm going to go forward on this. Okay, so this is that trade. So I took a trade on the small account. We're going to skip over that. I'll do my small account recap. There is a silver lining today, which is that I'm green in the small account, but the amount feels completely irrelevant compared to what I've lost in my main account. So we're going to jump forward. We're going to jump past ZNB. I did end up trading this, but we're going to skip past that. We're going to look at GLTO. So as you can see, GLTO has just squeezed yet again from about $17.50 all the way to $27.50. I would say that I have a little bit of FOMO on it, fear of missing out, a little bit of frustration. And so as it's consolidating right here, I'm watching it for this retest of 30. And as it comes up to this level, I end up adding right there at 29.27. Now, in this archive, you can see how much I'm up per share. So I'm in at $29.27. And you can see right here, it dips back down. And within an instant, I'm down $2 a share. Look at this rejection. And so I end up taking the loss, and I'm red $20,000 on my first trade.
Guys, this was like not even a minute of trading, and he's down $20,000. Okay, I would have probably got a mental breakdown here this instant and would have thrown my computer out the window.
Right. And to be honest, my feeling at that moment is like anger, frustration. It feels like this is so typical. Yesterday, we have these huge moves. I kind of undercapitalize on it. Today, I sit down and I catch this nasty rejection on my very first trade. This is triggering. Now, on that very first trade, I bought, let's see, the total position size was, it looks like just under 10,000 shares. And I ended up losing about $2 a share, average. That's a pretty bad loss. And so I'm frustrated. I'm annoyed. And 10,000 shares is a relatively large position on a higher price stock. So I end up having that first trade, and then I have a trade on CISS right here. I buy this for the breakthrough VWAP. I'm looking for that squeeze higher, and it ends up that although it pops up a little bit higher, it doesn't end up holding up very well. It rejects fairly violently, and I only made $2,000 on it. Now the problem with this is
$2,000 would be like a very, very nice profit for most of us. And it's now okay compared to $20,000 loss previously. This won't get you in a good mood.
would say this is another bad trade. It was not a good trade. I bought the break of VWAP, it broke and then completely rejected. And look at that high volume red candle. So now I'm 2 trades in, and I basically would say I have 2 bad trades. And I'm not exactly seeing the writing on the wall in this moment. I should, but in this moment, I've become already emotionally compromised by the fact that I'm down $18,000 on those first 2 trades. I'm feeling frustrated. Now, for the last 2 weeks, I've been primarily focusing on trading in my small account. And so although I've gotten some trades in the big account, the small account has definitely lagged behind, or the big account has lagged behind. And the problem with that is I'm feeling a little bit of need to overcompensate and to make up for, for this loss, or this sort of loss of opportunity of.
This is the precise moment where trading goes wrong, where you have this feeling that you have to make up for something. Should it be yesterday or a year ago? If you still have a previous trading session in mind or a specific time span where something did not work for you and you want to make up for it, that's like the first thing that leads to complete disaster. I know that I have like one of those problems myself, mostly in cases when I get unluckily stopped out at break even and the trade immediately went into my direction again. Then I think I have to make up for this unlucky break even and try to get that money back. And this is the precise moment where disaster starts.
Not getting as many trades as I should. So it's like I missed a lot of trades, and then finally I sit down and now I'm red 18,000 on my first two trades. Like, this is ridiculous. Then next thing you know, we've got ZNB, which pops up, which surprises me that it ends up moving as well as it does. I take a loss in the small account on it, $53, and I end up losing 13,000 in my main account. I try to trade it on this squeeze, it ends up rejecting.
Crazy.
And now I'm down 31,000 on the day. So at this point here, it would probably have been a good idea for me to put the small account on the shelf and just say, nope, I'm not going to trade it. I'm leaving it alone. Why didn't I do that? Well, this is the reality with being in a state of emotional hijack. When you're in emotional hijack, you've got so much emotion that you almost get tunnel vision. It's easy and clear as day to see it as I'm looking at it now that this is idiotic. In fact, it's embarrassing to even show it. But in the moment, it felt like it made sense. So here,
yeah, you're just driven by your emotions. There is no rational thinking, okay? This is why you can say that robots always have an advantage compared to us humans in trading, because we have emotions, and emotions could be a real danger in day trading.
LTO curls back up, and as it starts to pull away, I punch it right about here for the breakthrough 32. And what I look at on this is that it's going to pull away. And I'm thinking about SPRB from yesterday and the way that squeezed from about $35 a share to $50 a share.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, okay? You have this trade from yesterday in mind, and you really expect today to be the same. So you want to capitalize on that, make up for what you missed yesterday.
And so I end up punching it, and I'm about to punch it in just a moment. Just jump forward. Must have waited for it to pull back or something. Yeah, I haven't taken that trade on it yet. So, okay, so I guess I waited for it to pull back, and then, I got a small winner on ZNB, which is fine. But I'm just going to skip over that for a second, because that one's, I don't know if that's as relevant. So the winner on ZNB, it curls back up. I end up making $5,000 on it. Okay, maybe that is relevant. I had a little winner there. Maybe that gave me a little bit of like, okay, now you know what you're doing. And then GLTO, I flip to this. I see it squeezing up, and I'm like, okay, it's game time. Now, let's back this up. It looks like I had GLTO on my side chart, and I jumped in at $32.35, and I bought about 15,000 shares. And that's a pretty big position. So GLTO, I pull it up on my main chart, and right here it's at $34.75. So I'm up almost $3 a share. I'm up about $35,000 unrealized.
Look how quick all of this goes. I wouldn't be able to catch all of this in the short amount of time. In like a few seconds, he's up $35,000. Of course, that means if almost, if a little squeeze happens against him, he's down $100,000. But obviously he's very successful with that. I could only imagine that this can go wrong a lot of times.
P&L. And I don't sell it. So actually, in this moment right here, I was green on the day by 10,000 bucks, and I did not sell. Why not? I thought it was going higher. And so what I did instead is I added up here for the break of 35.
Okay, now it's getting interesting, guys, because there are so many successful traders. Okay, mostly they're talking about index or future trading. Okay, when they tell you in a moment where you have the feeling, okay, I want to take my profit, you should add to your position. They always tell you add to your winning trades. I am not the biggest fan of adding to winning trades again and again, because you just worsen your entry price, and the slightest move against you could kill all of your profits and even your whole account, okay? Like, to exaggerate a little, okay? But now this is happening to Ross, okay? He added at the moment where, in hindsight, he says he should have taken profit. But he added, this is what a lot of trading gurus tell you to do. Add to your winning position. It can go higher. But now let's see what happens.
And so my cost basis goes up to 34 right there. And I've now added, and I've got 40,000 shares.
Crazy.
It's a big position. So I've got a 40,000 share position, and look at this thing knife.
Yeah.
Look at how in an instant, look at how fast this happens, right?
But I think that the chances of something like that happening are quite high. I would be afraid to add here because I think, okay, this one is spiking up, but there always can be a little retracement and you immediately down several $1,000s.
Here I'm up $35,000, and I then think this is going to break 35 and go straight to 38 and 40, just like SPRB did yesterday. I'm in the driver's seat. I've got a big cushion on the stock. Here we go. And then all of a sudden right there, I'm down $1 a share. I'm down $2.50 a share. I'm down 80 grand. So my P&L, I'm looking at it and I'm down $3 a share. I'm down $3.50. And then it breaks 30 and I'm starting to sell, and look at that number getting bigger and bigger.
I cannot believe it.
Wow.
What did he do wrong? Okay, he said he's a stock trader. I do not know enough about stock trading to really see his big obvious mistake here. Okay, he basically did what a lot of gurus teach you to do, adding to winning trades. Okay, he just added, and this could very well just happen to go a few ticks higher. But this all happened in about, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds? Definitely not longer. In 5 to 10 seconds, he lost $170,000. Just because he added a little bit up there and did not take his profit early enough. Maybe I'm blind here, but I don't see his very big mistake. Okay, in hindsight, you could have said, okay, he should have taken the profit where he got the chance, but is it so fundamentally wrong to add a little bit?
I don't like watching that. $195,000 in the red. Now, you know from the thumbnail, I finished the day at minus 172. Boy, that was a tough trade. So, you know,
like in this scenario, when the market goes against you this fast, you're so overwhelmed by this number getting bigger that you're not even fast enough to sell. You're not even able to sell that fast. We're 5 seconds.
I kind of had it coming. I had already lost $20,000 on this thing one time because it knifed on me and dropped $3 a share. Right here, right back here at 30. It did the same thing. Once a stock does that once, it'll do it again. Once it gives you one big jackknife, one big false breakout, it'll do it again.
Okay, now I understand. Now I can see what he did wrong, okay? He already lost on a stock, but revenge traded because he thought, okay, maybe this is gonna squeeze like this other stock did yesterday. Okay, now let's give it another try with an even bigger size. Okay, this kind of revenge trading, I get that, okay? This could be wrong.
And it did it again. And I should have known that was gonna happen. And to add insult to injury, it does end up rallying all the way back up to $35 a share.
It's always the same, guys, isn't it? You get out with a huge loss, and in the end you would have been right. It's always the same for everybody. For Ross, for me, for you, for everybody.
Should I have held? And the answer is no. I should not have held. If I had held, well, let's look at the chart. Let's back this up and let's look at the chart. If I had held this GLTO, first of all, It was up on no news, which doesn't mean it couldn't have gone to $50 a share. It certainly could have. That wasn't the mistake I made. It was a B quality setup, but I'm okay trading B quality setups in a hot market. And I'm sure there's other people that made good money on this. That wasn't the mistake. We'll talk about the mistake I made in a moment. But let's look for a moment at some of these other candles. Let's look at this candle for a moment. This candle where we dropped from 34 down to about $25 a share. We lost almost 10 points in one candle. That would have been a $400,000 loss. So in the moment when it's dropping, like it did right here, this is the candle that I lost on, you don't know how much it's going to keep going down. All you know is that you're in at 34 and you're down $5 a share and it's still dropping. And if this thing keeps going, if you don't cut it, I mean, what are you going to do? Just keep holding it forever? You can't. You cannot. You have to cut your loss. So I cut my loss. It rallies back up and then knifes down again. Then it, sort of sells.
Okay, now guys, imagine, and I'm very sure that some of us, after this big loss, we're so devastated to see this freaking thing going back up into our direction that we maybe would have jumped back in even once more. Because we're so overwhelmed. There is no rational thinking after this. This is just emotional. Everybody knows that it would be the stupidest thing to go in a third time, but there is no rational thinking, okay? I can imagine that some of you, me included, if I would have to devour such a loss, would have gone back in a third time. I don't know. At this point, I would think, okay, my life is over. I'm gonna try it again on this one, and would have lost everything.
Off a little bit more at the.
So Ross is professional enough, even though he's gonna tell us about his delusional mistakes, but he's professional enough to know, okay, I had to cut my loss here and never going back in again.
Open, I was like, nope, I'm not taking any more trades on. It continues to chop around, halting up, halting down. It hasn't, and it's not to say that it might not give an opportunity for some traders later, as SPRB did, but there's not been any good opportunity really on it. It's been very, very difficult to trade. So my mistake today was that, if you recall, share size. So when it comes to position management, quarter.
Now we can even learn something, guys.
Size.
Pay attention.
Until green, 1/4 of goal. Let's say G. So for me, in my case, what that should mean is that I am trading with, roughly 10,000 shares, okay, until I'm up at least 5 grand, which is 1/4 of my daily goal, which is $20,000. Unfortunately, I took that 10,000 share position on the first trade, and how much did I lose? Minus 20 grand. All right, well, I happened to do it on a $30 a share stock. Probably shouldn't have taken 10,000 shares, went in a little too heavy on that first trade, and was immediately, from this point forward, emotionally compromised. That's my face. So now on trade 2, I'm taking, let's see, on ZN, what was it, ZNB? I don't remember how many shares I bought, but I think it was 90,000. So now I'm starting to take, maybe it was 50,000. Doesn't matter. I took a bigger position than on trade 2. So now trade 2, even bigger position. And that was the one where I lost minus 8,000, right? So I had a loser. And then I had a trade on CISS, and I lost, actually I made 2,000 on that. And then I had another trade. And then I come back in with 40,000 share position. So what I'm doing is I'm increasing my risk as I'm going deeper red. And this is the classic mistake. So this is, and it's, what's so embarrassing is that I literally talked about this yesterday. I talked about that first big loss, how you get emotionally compromised. It leads you to increase your quantity of trades and increase your share size.
It's like almost similar to adding to losing positions, okay? You add to losing positions to make up for your mistakes, and it's like the same thing, increasing your position size as you go deeper into the losing spiral.
And then what happens? You lose more money. So now you lose even more money times 2. And then it spirals. So the problem is you're red on your first trade and you feel like the only way I can make this back is by increasing size. So you take bigger position, you're red on your second trade. Only way to make that back, and then next thing you know, you're like this. This is emotionally compromised trading. And, this is the element of trading that is so difficult. Because when we step back for just a moment, when we look at this year in total, so I'll just do, year to date here. When we look at the year, we'll see that I've taken thousands and thousands of trades. 3,033 trades, as it shows right now.
That's a lot.
So 3,033 trades so far. And here's the frustrating thing. One trade. One single momentary lapse of judgment. And all of a sudden, I'm down $188,000 on that stock. Just like that. That's what's so hard about being a trader. You could be right 3,000, 32 times in a row, or not in a row, but you know what I mean. And then it's that one that just gets you really, really badly. And that's what happened to me today. So now.
Okay, guys, an exceptional video. I'm gonna end my reaction at this point. I think we saw the spectacle evolving. Definitely, if you did not see this video, probably also months ago, I'm the last person to watch it. But if you did not watch it yet, definitely make sure to watch the rest of the video to now learn how he can recover from that mentally. Because now this is only the first part. The second part is how can we get better? How can we recover? How can we begin to trade again after such a loss? Okay, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's reaction. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel to see more trading reactions on my part. Thank you for your support. Have a nice rest of the day. Take care of yourself, guys. Bye bye.